The awesome custom thumbnail used in this video was designed and created by freelance digital artist Azure Nimbus. I will leave a link to his DeviantArt and his Twitter down below so you can contact him if you want any art done because he is fantastic. So throughout the Namek saga, one of the story points was that Frieza was afraid of facing a legendary Super Saiyan, and eventually, of course, Goku would become that warrior and defeat Frieza. Frieza's fear of the Super Saiyans is always a very interesting talking point, but then the question is, does Frieza fear any Super Saiyan, a special Super Saiyan, and would any Super Saiyan beat Frieza? Well, we're going to put it to the test on this video because we're going to discuss the what-if scenario of Super Saiyan Goten, the littlest Saiyan in Dragon Ball Z. We're not talking about GT or Super, just in DBZ. The youngest one, of course, pre 10-year time skip. We're not talking about Pan or them, versus 100% Namek Saga Frieza. Who would really win this fight? Can a 7-year-old untrained kid, even though he has the ability to tap into Super Saiyan, win this battle against the Tyrant? Or would Frieza defeat him based on other factors? We're going to talk about it here on this video. So a couple years ago, about 2.5 years ago, this topic was discussed over on Rhymestyle's channel with myself, Kwame, and Rhymestyle. But it's been a few years, and I wanted to revisit it with somebody who I feel is a subject matter expert when it comes to power scaling, as well as figuring out how strong characters actually are, not just in the Dragon Ball world, but really in all of fiction, from Marvel to DC to even the Stephen King universe. This man knows what he's talking about. Please welcome to the channel for the first time ever, Chuck the Cybercuck.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Glad to be here.
All right. So Chuck and I are going to talk power because that's what this is about. So Chuck, man, let's discuss it. So Goku defeated Frieza on Namek. Obviously, that was earlier in DBZ. And then in the Buu arc, a lot of years went by. We have Goten, who is a prodigy. I want to discuss with you pre-Room of Spirit and Time Goten versus Frieza. The big argument is, Goku as a Super Saiyan was able to beat Frieza, but can Goten do it too? And is he strong enough? Because it's a kid, it's not a full-grown male. So that, of course, will lead to a debate here, but we have evidence to prove to and fro. But I want to first start out with pre-Room of Spirit and Time Goten against Frieza. How do you have that going?
So, to analyze that, you need to look into the Android saga because that really gives you an important point of where the Super Saiyans are and the androids, of course. And Goten and Trunks both faced off against Android 18 in the World Tournament. They were, in the Mighty Mask costume. There's a lot of interesting statements within that battle that could actually give you a gauge on how strong they are in comparison to, say, Namek Saga characters. People have this disbelief that for some reason, just because you're a Super Saiyan, that you're as strong as any other Super Saiyan, or that you can automatically defeat Frieza, which is not the case. People seem to think that you have a set power with that form, but that's not how it works. It's a multiplier. So for example, Bardock had a power level of 10,000, so multiply by 50, right, you get 500,000, and Goku was 3 million times 50, 150 million. So they both are Super Saiyans, but they don't have the exact same power.
Yeah, and actually, to add to what you're saying, the guidebooks specifically say that Frieza has 120 million. So even though Bardock, and we could also factor in the fact that when Bardock became a Super Saiyan in an episode of Bardock, he may have had a Zenkai from his near death, but I don't believe that Zenkai. My opinion, I just don't think that Zenkai, even if he was Super Saiyan, is enough to beat fourth form Frieza. Maybe first form, maybe, but fourth form, I don't know.
Let's say you you wanted to give him a huge Zenkai boost like Goku got, then maybe, because 3 million from 90,000, that was
Huge.
over a 33 times increase, right? I mean, if Bardock got that much stronger, he would probably not even reach first form Frieza if you want to go with that. But if you want to go with the an Aspal Zenkai, then you probably could. But the matter of the fact is that just because you're a Super Saiyan doesn't mean you can beat anyone.
It's not like Frieza feared. Frieza could have beaten Goku if he was weaker, even if he was Super Saiyan, but Goku was very strong at that time.
Yeah, so for example, if it was Ginyu Saga Goku, then Super Saiyan would have been enough at all. Not even close.
Yeah, because especially during that part of the series, Toriyama really did focus a lot on the mathematics and on the power levels. He kind of dropped it somewhat later on. That's when, you have to step in and do a little bit of math yourself to do the scaling, because Toriyama didn't really give us the numbers. You had to kind of come up with the numbers just by, playing around with them like you've done so many times times in the past, on your channel. So pretty much the thing is, just because Goten the Super Saiyan doesn't mean he can be Frieza, but can he? And you were talking about Android 18 and their fight and some statements that she made.
Yeah, so if you analyze like the battle between Android 18 and Super Saiyan Vegeta, she completely like made a laughing stock out of him. Like, she broke his arm. She just beat him casually. She wasn't even trying. Then, like, once you get to, like the actual battle between them, like in the World Tournament, Goten and Trunks are like, she's not a pushover. Like, she was stronger than our dads once. So they hold her, to a high regard. But even with that case, they were still kind of worried about fighting her because, like, I remember Trunks was actually charging up a key attack against her. And Goten said, okay, be careful, don't use your full power. Once Trunks fires the blast, Android 18 is like shocked and she's like, you gotta be kidding me, that speed, that power, or those twits really that good? So she was impressed with this level of power, and she even said, like, I have to end this quickly. And before they even turned Super Saiyan, she said that they were strong. So she implied that they were, actually worth a challenge.
But what basically that means is, and this is going to be a hard nut to swallow for Vegeta fans, the kids in the Buu saga, even before the Room of Spirit and Time, because during the Room of Spirit and Time training, obviously they became incredibly strong without question. But yes, even before the Room of Spirit and Time, and I know some people have a problem with this, Chuck, because Dragon Ball tends to make characters more powerful just because they want to be more powerful. Goten and Trunks never really trained or never really did anything like Vegeta did. But the answer here, folks, is that Goten and Trunks in the Buu saga, little 7- and 8-year-old kids are more powerful than Vegeta in the Android saga.
Definitely. Okay, so like obviously Trunks and Goten, they were together. Matter of the fact is that even Android 18 thought that they were strong in their base forms, right? Half of that power, that mighty mask, the whole showed is like more than enough to actually scare 18. So if we take that into account, then you could say that Goten has power like easily, even if you wanted to completely lowball him, that he has power relative to Android Saga Super Saiyans, who we know are way stronger than Mecha Frieza, who is way stronger than Namek Saga Frieza. Goten would have more raw power in that sense if he is on those levels, right?
Well, it's funny because I think a lot of people, they get confused by power scaling. And in Dragon Ball Super, I kind of get it, bro, because it can
it's all over the place.
It's everywhere, right? But Z was a lot simpler. Just think about it like this. Trunks massacred Frieza, 18 by herself, threw Trunks around like nothing when he got involved in the Vegeta fight. So 18 would obliterate freaking Frieza. And if she's scared even a little bit of Goten and Trunks, then that tells me that Namek Saga Frieza would take the L. But let's talk about some of the other factors, and that is the fact that Goten is not a trained fighter, and he cannot fly until Gohan taught him how to fly. Now, do you feel that Goten's lack of flight, do you feel that that's going to be I think it is a major factor in the fight with Frieza, or do you think he's just so powerful pre-Room of Spirit and Time, beginning of the Buu arc? We're talking about like Gohan going to high school era. Do you think that he still would win just based on power? He could blow Frieza away with one shot. Is he that strong, in your opinion?
If we said, he has power relative to Android Saga Vegeta, then in that case, none of the attacks that Frieza uses on Goten are gonna like damage him unless Goten like lets his guard down or he's gonna, play around too much, which actually plays a big part as a personality if they're in character. Because Goten, we all know he likes to, jerk around, like with Trunks when they were, fighting against Buu. They like to play around. They think it's a game. So like if we say that Goten is, taking it seriously, he's enraged or whatever, he's not letting his guard down, then Frieza's attacks logically aren't going to do anything to him. Logically, Goten would also be much faster, but the thing is, would Goten really know how to fight in that regard? Because as we said, he barely had any combat experience. He mostly just trained with Gohan and his mom. Okay, so essentially, if you take into the effects that Goten's childish, he doesn't have much experience, he doesn't know how to fly, then I could definitely see Frieza beat him just from that alone. Because power isn't always everything. It's more about being a tactician, having experience, and Master Roshi showed that like against Ganon, I think, in tournament power. He was much stronger than him, but Roshi was like, you might have more power, you might have more speed, but I have more experience, right? It's not only, I can just crap out this much power. It's also about like how you think in battle. So if we go with that, I can definitely see Frieza win just off of that alone. But if we're going with, Goten serious, then he would definitely massacre Frieza.
Yeah, it seems like that would be the case. I mean, it was just a weird debate because I think what it is, Chuck, man, is that people look at Goten and they see, oh, he's just a little kid, and they kind of compare him to kind of maybe Gohan or Kid Goku, and they don't understand that Goten in the Buu arc is incredibly powerful. And one of the good things about that whole Toriyama ass pull about the S cells, which I know a lot of people don't like.
Midichlorians.
A lot of people don't like the midichlorians, dude, but there at least he gave us a little bit of an explanation how he explained that, every Saiyan has S cells and they're passed down from their powerful parents. And the fact that Goten was on Earth for 7 years peacefully. Gohan was also on Earth for about 4 years peacefully, but with Goten's case, obviously, when Goku had impregnated Chi-Chi, he was a lot stronger at the time, and it appears like the S cells may have been passed down. Toriyama didn't explicitly say that, but he hinted at it. So that explains why Goten has more potential than Gohan. Like, it's one of those things where it's not that Gohan is a wash or that Goten is necessarily stronger, but he has the potential to be. The idea here is that if you undergo training with Goten, if Goten had the kind of training that Gohan had for his entire life, then it's almost like, yes, he would be stronger. I mean, look at Trunks.
Gohan already had huge potential when he was like 3-4 years old. I mean, just becoming enraged was enough to like actually hurt Raditz severely, and yet Goku and Piccolo couldn't do anything, and they've been training like their whole lives, Well, Piccolo was like, still pretty young, but Goku had been training for decades by that time. And Gohan, he obtained a higher level of Super Saiyan than like Goku, Vegeta, or Trunks, like before any of them did. With his potential unleashed, he became much stronger than his father. He became much stronger than, Goten and Trunks fusing. So, and then Goten just like unleashed Super Saiyan like before either Goku or Gohan. I mean, yeah, definitely makes a lot of sense why he would have more potential. And Vegeta even said that at the beginning of the series, I believe he said that half-breeds have naturally more potential.
Yes. And I think everybody forgets that, man, because I think what it is that because Goku and Vegeta have been able to achieve these god forms and all that, pure bloods are stronger. When no, that's not the case. They had the ability and the will to train harder. If Goten and Gohan had that Saiyan instinct to always fight, they would put in just as much work as Goku and Vegeta and even surpass them. But because these guys are pure bloods and they always want to fight, that motivates them to train harder. It's like some people are genetically going to always be thin. Like I have friends of mine who eat cookies and, pie and pizza all freaking day and don't gain a pound. Meanwhile, I smell a cookie and gain about 10 pounds. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes, the half-breeds don't have to work as hard, but they don't put in that kind of work because they're more human and thus they don't have that instinct to fight. It's not that hard to figure out, but a lot of folks don't seem to get that, and hopefully we clarified it for them.
Yeah, and I mean, did you want to discuss post-Rosat?
I feel like post-Rosat would be a wash, but whatever information you have, hit me.
Definitely, like post-Rosat, Piccolo said that after Gotenks had fused in base form, they were like much, much stronger than last time. He was even confident that they could take on Super Buu, like their Super Saiyan form. Just from that big increase in the Rosat, and of course, like Goten knows how to fly, then he would definitely like one-shot Frieza.
Oh, piece of cake. I mean, Frieza, I would even think they could one-shot. I mean, not Golden Frieza, obviously, but Mecha Frieza for certain, King Cold, Cooler, all the forms. Anybody from that family is roasted, I mean, easily. By the way, recently, I remember that Herms discovered something. Well, maybe he didn't discover it. I discovered it that he translated years ago. But according to the guidebooks, Gotenks can do Super Saiyan 2. And I know a lot of folks thought that he skipped 1 and went to 3, but according to the guidebooks, he can do 2. So even before 3, Gotenks was still just too much. All right, well, let us know in the comments if you have any objections to any of this. I mean, you have to understand, folks, just because they're kids does not mean anything, because the idea behind Dragon Ball is it is a shonen anime. And look at Goku as a kid. Back in Dragon Ball, he was destroying demons and trained martial artists who were way bigger than him. Size does not matter in Dragon Ball. And yes, Goten would obliterate Frieza. Everybody check out Chuck the Cyber Cuck. I will leave a link to his channel down below. A lot of different kinds of scaling videos and analysis, not just on Dragon Ball, on other fictional, I guess you could call it genre universes.
Yeah, I cover Marvel and Star Wars from time to time, DC, stuff like that.
I want you to power scale, I really wanted you to power scale like Gan, bro, and it, bro. I really want that. I don't know how many views it'd get, but I feel like it'd be fun.
I guess I could give it a shot.
Hey, thanks for being here, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me here.
All right, y'all have a great one, and we'll see you down below in the comments.
Peace out.